Hello, I'm Don with StockChartistry.com, and today I'm excited to share with you MoMA, the mother of all moving averages. I have literally been working on this and using it for 5 years, making changes as recently as this month. And finally, I believe that it's in a state that you are really just going to be amazed by all of the information, all of the stuff I packed into this one indicator. In Thinkorswim, in order to add multiple moving averages to your chart, you have to go in individually and add every single one of the moving averages. Then on top of that, if you have colors that you have preferences for, you have to change those colors. If you run multiple charts, you have to do this over and over and over again. And it was very frustrating to me that this was one of the situations. But really, one of the primary reasons that I actually built this indicator was I began to build it with the idea of putting daily moving averages on an intraday chart. So you can see right now that we're looking at the 15-minute chart right here. Really, like I said, I did it to put the daily moving averages on. I'll tell you what, let's just dig into this. There is so much to go over. Buckle up and let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a look at what your options are. On this indicator, you can show as many as basically 5 indicators or 5 moving averages, as you can see down here. And then you can set them to whatever time period that you want to set them to. And then you can show all 5, or you can show 3, 2, or 1, or none. Maybe you don't want to see any. So let's take a look at that. So if I want to see every single one of them, all I have to do is click that drop down, hit apply, and boom, there you go. Now I got my 5, my 10, my 20, my 50, and my 200. If you don't like the ones that I've already preset in here, you can change them yourself, and it'll update that quickly. So now I have the 100 here instead of the 50. I'm going to revert this back again to the 50 because that's my preference. But every trader has their own preferences. So now it's back down to the 50. You know, the 5 and the 10, they can they're awesome moving averages when you really want to dig in and see what's going on with price action. But if you're overviewing the chart, a lot of times you're better off just kind of setting it to maybe the 3 or the 2 or the 1. You can see you get a much cleaner chart when you do this, and you can see how quickly I can change this. So, you know, I set it like this most of the time for my overview charts. Then when I'm digging in, I'm actually getting ready to actually make a purchase or make a sale. I go in and I'll drive down into all of the moving averages. So let's go ahead and set that back to what I have as the default. This is this next item here. It's called Show Daily SMA on Intraday. This is exactly why I built this. And after I built this, then I began thinking about other things. And you're going to see that once again, this thing is packed full of things. I actually probably have about 10 indicators on here. But what you have right here is you're showing the daily SMA now on a 15-minute chart. It's color-coded, and then your daily SMA averages are down here. You can color-code them to whatever color that you want to. It's following the same format here, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, and the 200. So if you want to see that on your daily charts, it's very helpful. And one of the things that actually you can see is that it affects stock price. Look here, it bounced on the 5 period and the 20 period right here. It consolidated on the 5 and the 20. It got resistance on the 5 and the 20, and they got resistance on the 5 and the 20, and it bounced on the 5 and the 20 here. So having this on your intraday chart is very informative. I'll go ahead and I'll turn it off for now. Oh, daily, there we go. All right. Now, another thing that comes with this is a dashboard of labels. So I have it set to not show the labels, but when you receive this indicator, it automatically comes showing the labels. You have 2 different ways to show the labels. You can show them as dummy, kind of like referring to like how we have dummy lights in what are referred to as dummy lights in your car. You know, car needs oil. In the past, it used to tell you what the oil level was, but then they just changed it to the car needs oil. So we show the daily moving average label on this. If we hit as dummy, you're going to see up here where I'm showing the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, and the 200. What this is showing is that price is below the 5, the 10, the 20, and the 50, and the 200 moving average. And you can see down here that, yes, it is. It's below well, for the ones that we're showing right now, you can see that it's below it, but we'll just take for granted that it's also below the 5 and the 10. If I want to see them as price, and I'll usually have this, I use multi-time frame charts in my day trading class, in my day trading platform. I'll have my lower charts set to this where it shows the price. And what that then is now showing is what is the price of the moving average, and is the price of the stock above or below that price? And in this case, it's below every single one of them. All right, so that's price. We'll leave price on. The next thing that we have is showing the moving average slope. And this is going to show you the slope, whether it's a strong slope or a weak slope or a no slope, and generally speaking it works very well. It's a little bit difficult to get this calculation, but if you look at this, we can see right here that I now have a slope label. See, I have my moving average label, I have my slope label, and it's showing that the 5 and the 10 are basically sideways, the 20 and the 50 and the 200, those are actually sloping down. And actually, when we look at it, you can see the 50 does have a strong slope down. So does the 20, the 50, and then the 200. They all have strong slopes down. If I go ahead and I throw them all on here, you can see also that the 5 and the 10, they're basically sideways. So this is actually very nice because it gives you that quick overview. I sometimes will run a bunch of charts, like 20 charts, and I'll have these labels set, and then I'm able to quickly see, I'll have them set to dummy if I'm running, like, say, 20 charts, and I'll be able to quickly see is price above or below the moving averages, and what is the slope of the moving averages, and I can ultimately know whether I should be bearish or bullish on that stock in a heartbeat. And the next label is show stacked. This is going to show when the labels are stacked, when the moving averages are stacked. And in this case, the moving averages are stacked. And you can see this label popped up right here because I said show stacked. It comes packaged with that defaulted as correct. You can change that to whatever you want. I have it set to stack. Show daily SMAs. Labels here will actually then show labels of the moving averages on the daily time frame. So you can see right here that we're looking at the moving averages and what are those numbers. Now let's go back into our options, and we'll go ahead and we'll turn that off for now. Another nice thing, everything on this is configurable. As I said, I think I've already told you, you can change these moving averages to whatever you want to change them to. And then your MAs are down here. You can change the color, and then you can decide whether you want to show the bubble or not. It comes defaulted to show the bubble, so you see right here that I'm showing the bubble. And then if I turn that off, and now you can see, oh, I'm sorry, I got to hit apply. Hit apply, and now you can see that bubble is no longer there. We'll go ahead and leave it on. I think it's helpful. Back to our options on the user input options. Okay, so you also, I prefer the simple moving average, but you have a choice of all of these options on your moving average. I've looked at Hull before. I feel like that's an interesting one. You can see that's a much tighter version of a moving average. You got exponential, you got weighted. I think weighted is by maybe volume. Then simple. I prefer simple. It seems to do just fine, and so I leave it at simple. And then you can show the VWAP. And most people that do day trading, they like to have the VWAP. So there's the VWAP for you. You can either put it on the chart or not on the chart. And you can also, if you just want to know what is the price, you can also have the moving average, the price show in the moving average label section right here, where it shows the price now of the VWAP. So let's go ahead and we'll turn VWAP off. And then on top of being able to show moving averages, you have another indicator here, which you can show Bollinger Bands. So you look at the Bollinger Bands, and there you go. Now you have Bollinger Bands on your chart. I love Bollinger Bands, but one of the things that I've always had a problem with Bollinger Bands is I haven't really liked it when it does these expansions like this. I've always been wanting to kind of somewhat follow the moving average trend, and then kind of give me a better idea about how things are breaking. So I actually came up with my own version of Bollinger Bands, which I call just moving average band. For me, this is preferable, but Some people love Bollinger Bands. You can also set the average band length. I have it set to 10 on this in the box, and I have set the ATR set to 1. So if we apply that to this screen, you can see, here's the reason why I like this. When it's going sideways, that's when it's the most effective, right? So it's going sideways. This is a great time to actually sell, a great time to buy, a great time to sell, a great time to buy. Let's say that because you're underneath of this 200 period moving average, you're bearish on this stock and you're accumulating. You're buying here, you're buying twice as many here, you're selling half, buying twice as many, selling half, and then all of a sudden it breaks. Well, guess what? It's showing you right there on that line that it's actually broken down. And even clearer is right here, where we had a little bit of an uptrend, and then you have this break right here. And it lets you know that that's going to be very powerful on the move. And you can see right here that it was very powerful. And usually it doesn't cross the midline on basically a 10-period moving average with the ATR set at 1. So those are your settings that come in the box. But you can change this to whatever you want. You can change it to the 20, and let's take a look at what that would look like. And you can see that that isn't very helpful. In this case, it's outside of it, the entire range, right? So it is very helpful to be able to have those kinds of settings. So I'm going to change this back to the 10. And we'll go ahead and turn this off for now. And moving down to some more options that we have, I also show what's called a PPO crossover. So you can look at the PPO crossover, and you can see every time that this is crossed over with a PPO. The nice thing about this is you can use this for back testing. You can say to yourself, you know what, when it's going sideways, or maybe say, for example, trending up, and I get a PPO crossover, is that a good time to actually do a swing trade, a sell trade? And you can see right here that it was, and here it was again. But now I'm in a downtrend, and if I was to actually sell here, I'm not going to get quite as much, although actually it was an effective signal there as well. Yeah, PPO crosses, they're pretty good. And then here you have the PPO cross to the high side. Now, if you were to leave all of these on your chart would be really messy. And so that's why I have this next option down here, where you can only show, where you could say set it to only see the last PPO cross. So now I've got a PPO cross right here, and be a little careful when it's going sideways. It can cross and cross and cross, and it's not necessarily as strong a signal unless unless you start to see a breakout. So there's your PPO cross. It comes in the box set to show the last cross, and then you have the moving average cross. Showing when moving average 1 crosses moving average 2. So this gives you the option to be able to set whatever moving average for the first and the second that you would want on the cross. And so that way you can set it to whatever you want. And then if you decide to say, for example, you want to see the 1020 or the 2050, you can change the text to that here, so that it's a little more informative. But if we look at that, we can see all of the times that the 5 has crossed the 10, and were those buying or selling opportunities. In addition, maybe we don't want to, we're just done with the back testing, we really just want to use it moving forward. Well, then you can go ahead and you can show it just the last one. And once again, this is how it shows in the box. One other thing that it comes with is it shows, you can see an alert on the moving average cross. Now, this isn't an actual alert. This is really, it says show PPO cross alert label right here. This is where I'm at right now. And I have it, I'm sorry, this is where I'm at right now. And I have it set to no. So if I turn around and I set that to yes, then what you're going to see is nothing, because there is no PPO cross on that time frame. So apparently we jumped into the next time frame, because it was actually, I did have it actually set there, so apparently jumped in. But if you show the, oh, I'm sorry, no, the moving average cross. But if we show the moving average cross label, look what we have right here. You see the the SMA is crossed, and you can see that the SMAs, or they're stacked as well. So your moving averages are showing that they're crossed. See down here, you have all of the different plots, and you can set your colors and show the plot or show bubble. I suggest that you use most of the showing and not showings up here in the user setting. You got a ton of labels here. You got a ton of moving averages, Bollinger Bands, other types of alert. For me, this has really been an excellent an excellent addition to my day trading and swing trading strategies. I hope it works very well for you. Leave comments. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.